and invest in black businesses. They teach us to hate what we see in the mirror, but it can't break our spirit. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them.
Look, I defeated my fears, soaked the towel in my tears. So ahead of my time, what comes next are all my oldest ideas. I'm wiser than my chin check y'all in y'all beard. I'm willing to father my peers, all of my peers for all of my years. Out in the field, take a look at my shoes. Never had a thought that it might lose. Considering the cost, I had to give them my dues. Never got a talk to it like you. I've been feeling like a king for months. We eat all the rich cuisine for lunch. All these wishing he was done. Oh, you tried it, that's a piece of gum. Now, look at me, I'm the captain now. I'm recruiting this year. I be praying for y'all while I'm praying for y'all. Like a line abusing this deer. I hate a dude with no plans. Now I usually get near. Oh, my ex her man. Cause I'm the mutant in here. We look good, just show us where the camera. Years ago, I had to up my standards. Make your missus Alabama. Turn it to my only private. Swear like she don't got the answers. Who's the boss? I feel like Tony Danza. Walk up in there like I got the swag. What kind of swagger? I'm the blackest panther. Wakanda. Y'all are wasting your time. I spend it, but I ain't wasting a dime. Might do some favors, but I ain't breaking my spine. Your girl has been calling for days. I get in all different ways. That New Orleans parades. Yeah, we like, none of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation. Y'all all with it and y'all talk a lot, but y'all ain't got the heart to do the mission. I'm hard-headed like the juggernaut, but there ain't nothing I can do to listen. I'm authentic and I walk around like I just ate, but let you do the dishes. I'm Clark Kent, but mix the Autobots and mix with everything that you've been missing. Please get back and don't get that involved. Freaking sick, I need a pad of walls. I'm the king, heavy crown, heavy rain, cat and dogs. Homie with me if you're asking for it. There ain't much that he be asking for. He just wanna have a Paddock on with a watch face with little dragon balls. Look, you don't need me either. All I need is this. No coca ice, and I get oh so polite. You be the man of your city, I'll be the man of my country. You could be the man of your city, I'ma be the man of my country. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. New Orleans parades, yeah, we like. None of my people are patient. We look like we on a vacation. Get no invitation, yeah, we like. Your girl has been calling for days. I get it in all different ways. Yeah, I'm like, none of my patient. We look like we on a vacation.
I seen the best of them, jammed up. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
When you got dumb cake up in the say that they be waiting for you in the bushes with the duct tape. Up and down the interstate, yeah, we really touch. We touch. October, I'm about to another state. He went down in Arizona, don't get me involved. An empty box in the car means they coming for all. I had six phones, I got rid of them all. We get hit and sit down, we don't talk to the law. Yeah, they think I'm tripping, they listen. They know our every move, yeah, they want us all in prison. That's why I can't sleep at night until they get in. I'm on another mission, I'm just young and I'm living.
I done seen the best of them, jammed up. 25 to life and they can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
7 in the morning and they in my home. My bank account's froze, what is going on? Why it all start going wrong? From Yeah.
My phone still echo, the feds won't let go. Money never sleeps when you're the Black Gordon Gecko. Line looking like they waiting on the retro. Sixes, I feel special. Resale and I never pay retail. My shoebox money afforded me the spree wells. And that then courted me a V12. Avoid the phones if it's sounding like a seashell. Too much clicking in the connection. Connect the dots with my connect for my protection. Face to face, I place my like a drive-through. Feel it, you know how I do. Push.
I done seen the best of them jammed up. 25 to life in the can't stop. Never met a man that they can't talk. We're talking on the phones, they can hear us.
7 in the morning and they in my home. My bank account's froze, what is going on? Why it all start going wrong? From talking on the phone.
Too many handle business on my own, cause you ain't right, and that's I don't condone. I got homies behind the wall wishing they was home. They got jammed up, kept discussing business on the phone. But Scotty, boy, we 200 bands off them $20 flips. I'm going by myself when it's time to up. That way police don't have a clue when turn up. I'm Dolo when I'm...
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the monsters of the Midway, the Chicago Bears, and the Los Angeles Rams. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Los Angeles Rams. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. The losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, it's been perfection so far. They come in here unbeaten at 14-0.
And just 2 wins away from doing something only 2 teams have ever done. But the most important thing for them now is to make it to the postseason in one piece.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Khalil Mack in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now first carry from Giovanni Bernard. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play calling, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's 4th down.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got the step on him. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
Now it's the former Ram. This is Todd Gurley. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
This one complete to Curtis Samuel, and way up past the 35 before he's taken down. There are the numbers for Samuel from that game last week. 3 catches, 100 yards on the nose, and a score.
It certainly seems like he gets a touchdown each week, doesn't it? Here we are in the final month of the season. He is the NFL leader in touchdown catches.
He has been an absolute machine. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw now on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
After the interception, here's gone. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
To throw on 2nd down is gone. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's 3 sacks now. That's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. 3rd and long. It's gone. And that is incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Touchdown, Chicago! Will Fuller with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
Throwing on 3rd. Gone. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. Good move by Gurley. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. It's the Bears off to the early lead. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. Naeem Hines, his first carry. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
We could talk about bend but don't break all we want, but the defense now, we're going to find out just how flexible and pliable they really are. Can they bounce back after that type of a run, that type of momentum against them, and find a way to slow down this offense?
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. He's going to get it running right, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Todd Gurley taking it in from 4 yards out, and the Bears will add on to their lead. And, Charles, when you catch that toss going right or left, really, but right in this instance, do you go straight for the pylon? Is that where you're going?
Well, typically you want to try and maneuver people a little bit so you have some space to get to the pylon. So I want to make sure I try and move them a little bit to the inside, and in this case to the left, so I can get to the right side and get to that pylon and wink at it as I go by.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's finished off by a Todd Gurley touchdown run. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jared Goff and the Rams headed back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Khalil Mack able to disrupt yet another pass play. His 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here's Goff now on 2nd down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Call. Khalil Mack. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. On 3rd down, this is Howard. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Let's take it at around the 40. Look at the spin. Balance. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Todd Gurley with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Bears will extend their lead. And always a good 1st half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-0. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the 1st half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Goff now looking to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bears take over. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Got an open man, it's Michael Gallup. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Fielded at about the 28. "34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle, the tight end Shaheen with it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Todd Gurley as the first half is winding down, and the Bears will add on to their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. You better believe that he's well aware he has 0 catches right now, and they're losing, so he's probably a little hungry.
And you know the guys on defense are aware as well, and they're really excited he has no catches, but they're also worried because a lot of times that's like the ticking time bomb. The longer you hold him down, when he finally explodes, look out.
Yeah, no catches, though, so far in this game. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. So you want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Yeah, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch. How much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Hey. 4 down. Over!
Gurley again here on first down. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. Looking to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Able to find Shaheen here. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
This was boxing. You think maybe they would have thought about stopping this one because this defense has been bruised, it's been battered. But this is why they keep the fight going, right? They just got done with a really nice play, showing they still got a little bit left, don't they?
Haven't had many plays that they can clip, put in the film room and smile about, but hey, there's one.
Clip and save.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Play action. It's gone. Looking this time for Woods, and it's intercepted. Cordray Tankersley with a pick. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Trying to get it to Woods.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. For him, what an accomplishment in this game, surpassing the 2,000-yard mark. And all the time we talk about these guys out wide like him that are so athletic and can do so many things, but take us a little deeper. How has he done it this year?
Well, you helped.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bears turn that interception into a touchdown.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Carlson on for the PAT. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Curtis Samuel and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. Good day for him so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but hey, it's the 3rd quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp. They go play action here on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Four down.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. A gain of 3, second down.
But they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time is now run out. Back now in Los Angeles. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Goff now to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Now Ryan Suckup will come on and try the field goal from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Suckup will put this one right through, and they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to thrill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? Best teams we've seen so far this year.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Cravon LeBlanc with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is
offense.
over. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
From the gun, here's Goff. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. On first down, Goff. He drops it off for Bernard. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To the air again. Goff. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose...
And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
So take away the touchdown. It's kind of been one of those games for these guys.
I think it's safe to say that that type of a play just added to their misery, right?
On 3rd down, that's Howard. Howard has the first down and then some. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Jordan Howard with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Rams are in for 6. And that touchdown there, it's not going to get them a win. It makes things a little more respectable.
Yeah, a little more palatable going out in this ball game. A little something to build on going into the next game, but it won't alter the final score.
And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. On the handoff, it's Gurley. Good move by Gurley. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. for Gurley. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On 1st and goal, Gurley. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it. They've got to be.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Gall. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. On first down, it's Gurley. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
On first down, it's gone. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Khalil Mack in there to get him again, and that's his 6th sack of the ball game, one off the NFL record of 7. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now it's gone, and Cooks has it over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They face a third down now as they try to find a late score. Now whistles and a flag down. I think one of the Rams linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
From the gun on third down. Gone. And it got him in. It's Woods. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Eli Apple. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 30, 10, and they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing, too.
No, she's at least...
She's on, like, the fifth tune at this point.
She left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Goff on first down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. A shotgun snap for Goff. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long.
180.
Out of the gun, Goff. And he's going to go down again. Khalil Mack. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's Johnny Hacker now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions.
And now here's another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected?
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. And they will elect to decline the penalty.
Everything turned out the way they wanted it to. No sense in even having to take that one. Hence the decline.
On second down, here's Goff. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
180.
One last throw here for Goff. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Chicago, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for L.A., the loss here is their 10th of the season. And they will try to turn it around next week as they head down to Carson for a matchup with the L.A. Chargers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.